Okay, we're back. Is that what's going on? It could be. I could also try changing servers. I don't know if that would change it on my end, though. Like, if I'm not the problem, then I'm not sure if that would help things. Okay. Well, and maybe on the other hand, I just had a really bad connection, and now that it's restarted, it'll be more stable. So we'll have to see. I think I am kind of starting to lose my place here. Problem with setting all this up too soon. Okay. Well, that's good enough for an initial ring, I think. So let's make sure all the roads are actually connected. Well, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see that everyone staying at home and all that could probably be overloading a lot, but you'd also think that it's been going on for long enough that they would have compensated by now. I would hope. Uh-oh. All right. So, I guess I can start putting down a few things here. Oh, right. No, I'm not nearly ready for this at all. There may never even be a city this time. I'm not quite ready for it. What I'd actually want to do now is add alleyways, and I cannot get a good snap point here. That's because I'm off my snap, apparently. Okay, that's actually really annoying. I can get it here. Hmm. Is there like a slope in the land or something? So what I'd like to do is kind of add an alleyway inside these blocks, which is working there, but it's not working here. And I'm not really sure why. Is there a dropper? I wish there was a dropper so I could select a road and then it would just have it. So I don't have to keep tracking this down. Oh, now I can't. Okay. Well, as long as it keeps that there, though. Because then I can build around it. Okay. So the game doesn't want me to do this, apparently. Oh, hey, now we can. Hmm. Well, I must have done something to screw that one up then, because it does not like it. It doesn't like it on this end either. That's really annoying. That is nope, nope, nope. We had it, we had it. Alright, I'm not gonna fiddle with it. Why does it even do that? I mean... Oh, should I maybe turn that off? Would that allow me to... Well, but then it's not snapping to that. How about snap to grid? So now it's snapping to that. I need it to snap to guidelines? There we go. I bet that's going to do it. So I must have had something conflicting there. Oh, no. So what have I got going on here? For some reason it just broke them into bits like that, and it did not make this one even. Did I not? No, I've got a square of 4 there. I don't know. Whatever is going on there, it's actually really irritating. We don't need that. We need to go paths. I kind of wish that there was a way to... Well, I mean, that'll work, I guess. There was a way to get just a 1-lane road. Because these paths, obviously, no one's going to go on them. I could make them bike lanes, so we at least have that. Actually, I could do that. I could just make them bike paths. Not really what they're intended for, but if I can't get, like, garbage trucks or anything to go down that alley, at least we could have this, and then that might also help out with some traffic. They'd be crossing in the middle of the street to get on to the one bike lane, though. That consumes a lot, and holy crap, it took the whole thing. Okay, well this might not work out, and this might just be something I'll have to do. It's not even snapping now. Alright, we're just going to put the roads back in. We'll mess with that some other time. This is getting aggravating. Oh. Well, okay. So I had something going wrong there. That was all going the wrong way. So I better make sure it looks like it's all going the right way. No, this one is not. How did I screw that one up so bad? I'm gonna have to go up and down my roads here and just actually see and make sure they are flowing in the correct direction, because that's not good. I kind of feel like they're not flowing in the right direction anyway. No, whatever. I can always change their orientation. As long as I have one of each, it will be fine. And then we need this one. Definitely have too many roads now. Too many road types, I mean, in my setup here. Okay, so now let's go in here, and I gotta get rid of that. Come into my junctions, and we will just do something like that. Leave it at the one-way? Yeah, let's leave it at the central blocks. But it'll be everywhere else that we just put stop signs. That way we increase flow of traffic into and out of. So we got our one-way there. There's a much... Well, there was. I don't know if the mod still exists, but I remember during my Let's Play I did have a very very good traffic control mod. Yeah, that'll work for now. As long as we're not putting in lights everywhere. Although, no, we really shouldn't. What am I going to do here? Always stop? Actually, we should probably do traffic at these intersections. Anywhere we got the one-ways together, we should probably have a traffic stop. But like anything on a one-way, like in this situation, the stopping should be like that. So that's a traffic light. This one will be also a traffic light. This one will be like that. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of this fiddly stuff where I'm going to have to go through and just actually hand change everything, make sure everything is flowing correctly. Actually, that does not even need to be that way. And I might not do all of it in the stream, but for now I just want to make sure this first little bit of the city is going to actually function properly. Okay, then I think we can just leave that one. I don't know how many uncontrolled intersections I want. I guess that will depend largely on the traffic problems that arise from all of this. Okay, well, that's enough to get started anyway. So, coming in here, we're probably going to have a crisscross of business and commercial. And I'm probably going to just go in and put down commercial first, and then I'll put in office just in between, because I kind of want to break it up. You know, I don't feel like in a city of the size that I am envisioning, it's going to be just a huge chunk of office space. You know, there's going to be office buildings smattered in between. So we'll just use this as our big central. And you know what? Before I even do that, how do I... There we go. So let's see. Avenues will run one way, streets will run the other way. Let's make this Central Avenue, and this will be Main Street. Hey Soren, no, you have not missed much. You've missed this. I restarted the city from last time, and I've spent a lot of time building a grid and checking audio levels and whether the stream is still alive or not. So no, we're not progressed much. Okay, so let's do commercial now. And we'll just kind of do a T-junction. I realize that's way too much. Way too early on. That's interesting. That's interesting how it does not consider this to be divided. So is that going to... Because I don't want it to plow over this, obviously. Okay. Now we'll take some office and we'll just make... Are you kidding? And there's, you know, there's something else too with not necessarily going the whole square, the whole 4x4, and just making it develop into small chunks of things, because that could be interesting as well. I know that 4x4, will this develop, or will this develop into two different things? Probably develop into two different things. Let's do like this. And we'll let it do all kinds of funky things for now. Maybe just another actual corner office building here. I will also probably want to do parking garages and all that, but for right now, I'll just leave that there. We have a large amount of residential being demanded. So let's actually just trim this in a bit. So outside of... Hold on. Outside of this... Okay. So for initial purposes, that'll be fine. Yeah, there is a town hall, but you have to unlock it. And I'm sure there's a way to get these unlocked right away as well. Where is it? It's in one of these, and to unlock it I need so much transport. That's a tax office. I did actually find... I think that's it. Nope, that's the oppression office. I don't know. It's in here somewhere. And I have to have a certain... Oh, there it is. City Hall. 3,000 passengers on public transport. So, we'll have to set up some public transport and get that going. Otherwise, I'll need to find a way to just straight up unlock it. I've got unlocks for everything else, which I don't really understand because those are built in. You know, the infinite money, the locking for certain other things. I don't know why there's not, or achievements. I guess it turns off achievements so you can have all these things unlocked that you normally have to unlock at milestones. It's got all that, so I don't know why it doesn't have those. But yes, I will have to leave a spot somewhere for a city hall. So we'll probably destroy this downtown a little bit as we rebuild it. But for right now, I just want to kind of get some things going. Skulltown? What's that from? Oh, you mean because of the blue? I'm gonna get... Let's see, where are we at? That's on the one way, right? No, where's the one way? Okay, so that's the one way, so I want it to start out here. And I can maybe get some... Well, maybe... I don't know, one of the things I actually want to do is, rather than just put down major blocks like this, of just one color, I do want to kind of start learning how to pattern them a little bit so that we've got things in between. Because actually, I don't really, at this point in the town, I don't think I really want to have a lot of large apartment buildings. So, you know, I've lived in small-ish towns, but I guess not, I guess they're kind of mid-sized for America, although maybe that's not true. They're like small mid-size. So we're talking like 50 to 80,000 people in the towns that I've lived in. And in those towns, you don't have a whole lot of high-rising, although that's starting to happen here. But it's more low-rise stuff, like 4 or 5 stories at most. And there are apartment buildings in residential, at least the old residential. New development is obviously where they're starting to put a lot of the bigger stuff, but in the old town, I guess, is where it's just smattered. Yeah, and I'd like to do that too, Wandering Dew. I'd like to put commercial within the residential areas as well, like that. So like a corner grocer or something like that. Because I don't just want big areas. Obviously, this being the downtown area, I kind of want it to be, you know, big and laid out. But as we spread out, I'll have little pockets of commercial and industrial stuff. Speaking of which, I went all over my farms. That's okay. We can do it on the other side of the road here. I actually live in a town that has an urban farm in it. It's a couple urban farms because it was they were put there at a time when the city had not yet expanded to that part, and now that's where all the big box stores are, and it's really commercialized out there. So the town kind of enveloped these farms that are in the middle of it. It's kind of cool. I mean, they're like organic farms, small organic farms. Customers can have like subscriptions, and so they'll get a box of food every however many months because it's all hot house stuff. It's kind of cool. But so I would think feel like that would be appropriate, not here because it's middle of downtown, and that is actually very unfortunate because that is all the farm land on this map. That's okay though. We got a little smattering down here, so maybe that's where I'll put my urban farm is over here, and then it won't focus on that so much anywhere else. Forestry, because I do want to have industry sort of near where people live as well, just not like heavy industry. If we go into heavy industry, like the mining stuff over here, we'll put that over here. Where did I have oil? Didn't I say there was oil on this map last time? Yeah, just a very little bit of oil. So maybe, I don't know, this could be cool to develop though, because then we could just have like a dock and pier area over here with the refineries and stuff like that. It would spew right into the ocean, but I mean, that having a port on this end would be kind of cool. And obviously we do eventually want to connect up to this, so we'll have maybe this be the big connector highway. Anyway, we're gonna just keep focusing on Old Town Downtown. And where was I? Right. So we'll get some residential going in here. Why don't I connect these up so we don't have to screw around too bad? Let's do something like that, and then maybe a small commercial. No, wait. That is the wrong color. I want that. And then maybe we'll do another small office. That is not the right color. Another small office here. And, looking at this, this is probably actually going to be changed as well, because I do probably want to have, some bigger buildings. I thought I selected this. I did not. Yeah, Soren, I probably wouldn't go heavy industry. Just because the city that I'm basing this off of is my hometown, and we don't really have heavy industry there. It's really more of it's not really a farming town, but it is in a part of the state where it is surrounded by farming towns. And so there's never really been a huge industrial footprint there, whereas the town that I currently live in has historically been logging town. So there's not really the heavy polluting industry, and I'd kind of like to leave that out of this city as well. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid it as it gets bigger. I mean, this is a very large area, but I don't want it to be focused that way. And once we get there, I'll probably have policies so we have clean industry and all that. So I guess I'm not really trying to focus on like making this a super green city. Or like a model city necessarily. I'm just trying to make it like, I guess, a nice place to live, some place that I might want to live. And I've kind of always done that in my series, I guess. I don't even know if a heavy building is that big. Where the decisions that I've made for some of the cities that I've built in games have just been based upon the thought of, well, what would this actually be like? Because I've never really been heavy on, like min-maxing and all that. Because there are ways to play games where you just cram things in, and I've seen people's channels where they focus specifically on, like, SimCity or whatever, and they know everything about the game, or City Skylines. They know everything about the game, and so they know how to maximize this and tweak that and all that. And it doesn't always create the most interesting looking cities, or I should say the most livable cities. But okay, so we need to. I mean, we need to do more people than this, for sure. What's your hometown like, Pocket Ninja? Let's do some wind. Actually, this was pretty good when we had it down here. This was actually pretty good. It might have also been what was causing some of the strange waves, but um, you know, this time I could actually do. I've got plenty of space out here for some of this stuff. But let's just start out with something simple. I don't really need to because money is not an issue here. I'll just create a nice little wind farm on the hilltop here. And have this extend. Well, you know, doesn't the Industries DLC, doesn't that have like specific farming and stuff? Farming and ranching? I feel like there is. Oh. Yeah, the curvy roads and cul-de-sacs thing, I understand why some of that exists, and what it does for traffic. You know, you can make people go one way and avoid like the suburbs and all the residential areas. But it is bad to drive in, and I don't think I'll do a perfect grid for this. I think downtown I'll lay out. So if you want to actually look at the city, you can go to Google Map, Great Falls, Montana, and you will see it is very gritty. But there are parts of the city on the outsides where they've developed into more residential, and you can see that they tried to get away from the grid, but it's still very clean. Like the lines are not crazy. It's just maybe like a curve or a diagonal road as opposed to just square-based grids. It is still very manageable. Okay, we hooked up there. Probably hooked up there. So now let's do. Well, we could do water treatment. Where's my? Oh, there it is. Well, you know, I guess we'll have it here. I can put the outflow pipe way down there now. Have it central to the curve. Actually, is there a thing? I know water speed affects the hydro dams. Does it also affect the... What is this? Oh, okay, it's a disaster thing. And then this... Oh. There's a lot of stuff I do not remember. I know this thing, the big pumping station, is a mod. It's not part of the game. Some of these things. Where are we at? Right up the middle? Actually, that is just fine. Just fine with me. The dam doesn't work on this map. I mean, somehow that doesn't surprise me, but that's a little disappointing. Okay. So this doesn't actually work out very well. I'm not really sure how you're meant to do the dams effectively either, because just from what I recall and what I remember seeing, because I think I did look up how to build a dam, it really requires elevation, and so unless you make elevation in your river, I really don't see how that works. Although the very first map we looked at last time had a little bit of rapids near the end of the river. Oh, different map. Okay. But yeah, no, that what was it? Arid plains at the end of the river there. It does have a change in elevation, so you could make one at the end of the river mouth. Here, I mean, we might be able to make one here, but if I do, it's going to have to be like it would flood this area if I put a dam here, because it would have to have that, and then I'd probably have to dig a trench to make it work. I'm still interested in trying it, but right now I just want to focus on what's actually going to make power.